How's it going, everybody? RyeSquad here today, and we are back with our Philadelphia Flyers franchise mode here in episode number 3, up at the trade deadline, and with some important decisions to make for the future of this franchise, the ones that you guys have helped me decide. But before we get started, guys, we are basically at 3K. If we've not already hit 3,000 subscribers by this video, make sure to do the whole channel and the community a favor and hit that subscribe button if you are enjoying the content this year. 23 is a blast for me, and I'm having a great time, even though there weren't that many changes, to be honest. But here we go. We are in March, early March, and ready to go at the trade deadline. I've already set up the scouts, and I've already gotten all that all set. And I think based on the comments, you guys aren't really excited about our chances at a playoff push, right? You guys more so have been commenting and saying would be fun for a Bedard tank. You guys didn't love some of the reverse retros. And I think Bedard might be a little bit out of reach. So let's just go ahead and talk about that. The top of this draft class so far, well, it's looking pretty good if we can get in the top 6. The 7, Dalibor Dvorsky is from Allsvenskan, so I might have to send a scout there. Zachary Benson, I have no idea why he just apparently popped up out of nowhere. Cam Allen, it doesn't look good. It looks like, well, we got to be careful. We're getting into some landmines here when we get towards the low teens. You know, Jim Eddy from Russia. Weirdest Russian name I could think of. He's Polish, I guess, but anyway, some of these guys look like they could be steals in the middle teens, but we really need to be careful with our scouts and know that if we move on from a player or two, that we aren't absolutely, you know, screwing ourselves. But I agree with the comment section in saying we should probably look to sell off some of our aging pieces and look to do almost a rapid rebuild, if you will. Taking a look at our contract screen, we'll view the expiring contracts, see the guys that we could potentially move that we aren't going to plan on bringing back. So expiring contracts are number 1, James Van Riemsdyk. This is the big one. James Van Riemsdyk is the big one. Cam York, I think I do want to extend him. We'll give him a 3-year deal at $2 million. That's nothing, man. I don't know if I want to give him 7 years at $2.5 million. Those kind of contracts are being handed out. I guess I personally would like to go 4 years. He would be an RFA at the expiration of that deal. It'd be the last year. I wouldn't be buying any RFA years. He'd be 26. We'd know what he is at that point. We could just easily let him walk. So I'll give him the 4 years, $2 million, undercut him a little bit. We only have $6 million in extension dollars. So we'll offer him that. And then Frost as well is a guy that I do want to extend. He's been doing well for us, depending on what he wants. He wants $4 million. Oh, $4 million over 2 years. I guess that's more of a prove it deal. He really hasn't proven to me that he deserves it. You know, I mean, 24 points in 47 games played. Let's bring out our handy dandy calculator here. 24 points divided by 47. That's about half a point per game. So he's on a 40-point pace. And you know what? You're going to pay about $4 million for a 40-point player, 50-point player, young guy. You know what? Yeah, I'm not ready to sign off on him yet. We'll give him that 2-year bridge deal, walk him right up until the end of his RFA. We'll give him the 2 years, and we'll undercut it by about $100,000, save a little bit of money if we can. But everybody else looks like we're okay with just moving on from. But James Van Riemsdyk is definitely a guy that, I mean, he has never been happier. His morale is almost perfect. He's scored 25 goals up to this point. As far as a goals per game standpoint, he has scored 25 and 61. That's 0.4 goals per game, 0.41 if you will, which equates to about a 33-34 goal pace on the season. You guys, I believe whoever it was called it in episode 0. I asked you guys what I should do with James Van Riemsdyk, and in the comment section it was Michael Reynaud. I hope I said your name right. Reynaud. He got a lot of likes on his comment. And he said, wait to trade JVR, feeling he can pot 30 goals and get a first. And well, he's potted 25 so far. Looks like he's going to get 30. And let's hope we can get a first for him. And in that regards, teams that want James Van Riemsdyk that can take his cap hit, right? That is going to change a lot, right? His cap hit of $6.8 million is quite a bit. Nashville really wants him. Pittsburgh, I don't want to trade him to Pittsburgh, and then Winnipeg. So Nashville is willing to give us a second this year, and I wonder if in Nashville we can squeeze out a first, right? So we'll get into the deadline day and see if somebody like him will get a little bit more on deadline day. But if we take a look at the standings here, the Nashville Predators are at the top of their division, and they want to load up. They want to gear up because their core really is aging, right? We'll take a look at the Central Division. There it is, and there they go, 75 points. They're ahead of the Colorado Avalanche and the Dallas Stars. And you can see their team here of Forsberg, Duchesne, Granlund, Jeannot, Johansson, Niederreiter. They're really hoping to get that second line goal scorer is what that's looking like. We'll quickly go to the view of the line so you can see why this trade would make sense. Right, so I kind of want to get a first from the Nashville Predators. I'm pretty much locked in on the Predators, although the Winnipeg Jets did express interest as well. They could definitely use, they would bump Lowry then down to the third line. They might scratch Tonado, Dominic here would probably get scratched. They move Lowry down and put James Van Riemsdyk right there in Lowry's spot. Lowry would then play with Gagne and Stenlund, and this would look like a really good team. A Canadian Western team as well, and we're talking to both Western Conference teams here. Although with Forsberg, Duchesne, Tomasino, they could be looking to put him on the first line. Tomasino would then bump down. I mean, they would have a really, really deep core, but I do feel like they need one more top six guy. Both teams do. Both teams do, in fact, need a top six guy. However, James Van Riemsdyk's got a higher chance of playing on the first line if we send him off to Nashville. Now, I'm pulling up Cap Friendly on the side here just to see if James Van Riemsdyk does or does not have a no trade clause. So James Van Riemsdyk does not. He's got no clauses in his contract that would prevent me from sending him to either team. If we take a look at the Central Division as well, the Winnipeg Jets are on the outside looking in. They well, they're not. No. They're in the wild card, right? And they're pretty safely in the wild card. A team that we could send them to, and hopefully the first would be a little bit higher. But it's really Nashville and Winnipeg. We'd retain some salary, hopefully get the first out of them there. And that's about all the guys that I think we would probably move on from, right? Expiring contracts, high overall. Cates is younger. McEwen is a grinder, at 26. He's a -16. Maybe somebody wants that physicality, right? We could see what teams would be even interested in McEwen off the rip here, doing a little pre-work before we get into the trade deadline. So McEwen is a right winger. Yes, he is. He's not wanted. He doesn't have a lot of value, but the Sabres want him. Sabres, I mean, I guess they could. Wow, the Sabres really want him. They've given me 4 different packages here alone. Vinny Hinostroza, one of them. Brian Boyle, and then the Calgary Flames, Trevor Lewis, Cody Eakin from the Blackhawks, the Rangers, probably not there, the Sharks, no, and then Mikkola from the Blues. So teams that I'm interested in sending him to are Calgary, Chicago, San Jose, and St. Louis. Do any of those teams make sense for a little fourth line grinder action? I mean, the Calgary Flames would make perfect sense, I think, for him. But looking at the Pacific Division, the Calgary Flames they would never go after him. He's a deadline guy that why would they go after him? The St. Louis Blues in the Central, same thing there. The Chicago Blackhawks. The Blackhawks could use him, right? They are 3 points behind the Oilers in a push. And then I said the San Jose Sharks, and the San Jose Sharks are at the bottom of their division. So really, I would ship him off to the Chicago Blackhawks for a mid-round pick. He would be the perfect kind of guy that I know the Sabres did this with Wayne Simmons just a few years ago, where they just got a gritty guy and a guy, maybe a veteran, maybe not exactly the same player, but at least a grittier player to come in and really help them make that push when the games got tough. Didn't work out for the Sabres, but maybe it'll work out for the Blackhawks. So I think I will want to send off McEwen to the Blackhawks, and then see what kind of package we can get from either Winnipeg or Nashville for James Van Riemsdyk. Taking a look at the expiring players again. McEwen, again, last guy that I would really think we would want to move on from. On the main roster, though, Thompson could garner some interest. Taking a look in the system, we've got Grosnick and Sandstrom. Sandstrom, how are you playing down in the AHL? Really well, actually. 10 wins. Oh, he's not winning a ton, but 914 save percentage, 248 goal against average. That looks pretty solid to me. Grosnick, they're kind of splitting time, and Sandstrom is doing really, really well. So we might have ourselves a backup goaltender in the future. But Thompson's actually playing really well in real life, too. He's been a brick wall. But Buffalo would never acquire a guy like McEwen. They're out of the hunt, really. And I think there might have been one more team that the Rangers. It was the Rangers and the Metropolitan. The Rangers are on the outside looking in. They could really use a point to catch up to the Devils and the Hurricanes. So maybe could be a team to go for. But I really think the Blackhawks would probably be the best spot for McEwen. And then James Van Riemsdyk as well. So we really don't have a lot to sell off. I'm not going to sell off some of our mid-20s guys. We'll build around them. And Sean Couturier, obviously, we're not going to get rid of either. But just looking at it here, like Van Riemsdyk 33, Couturier is 30, Konechny's 25, Atkinson is 33. Atkinson, with 2 years left on his deal after this one, is going to be a tough sell. Same thing with Kevin Hayes. He's got 3 years left after this one. Farabee, I'm not moving on from. Cates, I'm not moving on from. Frost, I'm not. No, Tippett, right? So none of those guys are guys that I'm moving on from. Scott Lawton has 3 years left on a $3 million deal. Ryan Ellis just got signed. I think he's got $4 million. Tony DeAngelo, I actually kind of want to hold on to Tony DeAngelo. He's going to have a year after this. Sanheim, we're not getting rid of. Provorov, we're not getting rid of, right? Those guys are 26. Ristolainen, nobody's taking on that contract. And then obviously I just offered Cam York an extension, and we know our goaltending situation there. So we'll see what we get calls for on deadline day, but that is probably going to be enough preview and enough looking forward at the trade deadline. I think we jump into it and we consider ourselves a seller, and we see what teams call for. If teams call me with an offer for guys like Kevin Hayes or Cam Atkinson, I'll check their no trade clauses and whatnot, right? Cam Atkinson has a 10-team no trade list, and Kevin Hayes has a 12-team no trade list, and Delorier has a no trade list as well. Why? Why would you give Delorier a no trade clause? What the heck? Anyway, we're going to advance one more day, and we're up into the trade deadline. Morgan Frost renews, and Cam York renews. So we do have two younger players that are going to sign with us. And I'm going to call us a seller at the deadline, and we're going to enter. I hope you guys are ready, because we'll see if anything happens. That's crazy, but I don't expect it to. But we are in the deadline, and Patrick Kane and Dylan Larkin are the number one players available. And Dylan Larkin is going to be a player that we could move on for, or we could go for, right? He's pretty low value. I don't see us a reason that Detroit would trade him unless extension talks are going really poorly. But first things first, let's go ahead and find a trade. See if any of the team interests have changed. But James Van Riemsdyk here, we'll add him to the trade block and search. Nashville still wants him, Pittsburgh and Winnipeg. So we'll go call Nashville ourselves, propose the trade, go to the Nashville Predators. How are they looking cap-wise? They are looking pretty darn tight. We might have to take something back. They want everything, to be honest. Van Riemsdyk, we will up the retention here all the way to about 3 point whatever million. We would not have much salary remaining, would we, if we kept all of this? We don't have a ton of cap. Did that up his value, I wonder? We might be able to squeeze their first out of it. James Van Riemsdyk straight up for a first. Will it go through? Rejected. Isn't sufficient at all. He's not too thrilled. Okay. Can I see what would get this to work? Okay, they're 39. Wow, they are really good. What about Winnipeg? The Winnipeg Jets. Their first is not on the block, and their first is a lot more valuable. But Poirier and a 7th goes to the Ducks in exchange for a 3rd, 4th, and Carrick. Yeah, I think we're better off calling Nashville, trying to squeeze their first out of it. Nashville, let's go ahead and get your first. I'll chip in, a 4th, our 4th, as well as Van Riemsdyk for your first. Will it go through? Trade accepted. There we go. We get a 1st-round pick for James Van Riemsdyk. We retain half of his salary, and we have to give up a 4th, but we get a 1st in return. I'm pretty stoked about that. That's a fine trade right there. McEwen now. McEwen to the Blackhawks makes sense. They need something, and then I can go replenish that 4th. Maybe I can squeeze a 3rd out of Chicago for McEwen. Chicago would have too many men in the organization. Let's see if anybody's wants have changed for McEwen. There's not a lot that I can really sell off unless teams get Colin, Tyler Bozak, Boyle and Bishop, Hinestroza, Lewis, Eakin, Lindblom. It's all 1-for-1 deals, but a new player has entered the conversation. It is the Arizona Coyotes. Where are the Arizona Coyotes in the standings? I can see the Pacific Division. That's great, but 25, 28, and 9. Yeah, they look to be not great. Chicago's a little bit better. A trade alert from Anaheim. Anaheim has sent Shattenkirk to the Jets in exchange for a second and a fifth. That probably removes them from the running here. We go to right wingers. We get McEwen. And we go to the Blackhawks skaters matching the block. They look like they're in seller mode. I guess I would take somebody that wouldn't really hurt to be scratched. Cody Eakin's that guy. He's in the minors as is. Can I get a fourth out of them? If they want to give it up. Cody Eakin and a fourth for McEwen. That's basically just swapping deck chairs on the Titanic kind of thing. Trade rejected. Yeah, it's probably not going to work. We might just have to find trade. And really, McEwen's one of those guys. It's going to be so hard to move. Let's call Arizona at least and see, what they want. Arizona could be making a late desperation effort. We'll throw in the Capitals third, and we'll throw McEwen in. There we go. McEwen, it's probably not going to go through. They would have more than 50 players in the org. That's not great. McEwen is wanted by the Sabres. They've got too many. Ooh, so the Blackhawks get Domi. The Blackhawks send Domi and Mayfield. That's huge, actually. So now I can add McEwen. And I can get him for, if we go to draft picks, let's see if we can get their third. They would have more than 45 skaters in the org. What do you mean? They just traded a bunch. What do you mean? They just traded some. Okay, so let's see if the Capitals have made a trade, actually. Jensen a fourth and a sixth to the Penguins for Pickering and Beliveau. Okay, Chicago. I am waiting to hear if you would like to give me your third. No? What about your fourth? Okay, what about your fifth? No? Okay, so it looks like... Nope, no, I don't think Chicago is going to do business with us today, guys. Let's go ahead and go to the back end here. And, oh, these are just the top 10 players available. Available players. We'll go to the end, see any potential prospects we could go for. Rasmus Ristolainen, a fifth, and Nicholas Deslauriers to the Canucks for a third, a fourth, and Pullman. Now, you guys did say if I get a call from a general manager, then I can take it. The Canucks are 30, 25, and 6, and maybe they think Rasmus Ristolainen is an upgrade over Pullman. He is. We'd get a third and a fourth for this deal. We'd also ship away Nicholas Deslauriers. Nicholas Deslauriers, would he want to go? He's from Quebec. Would he want to go to that team? Would he waive his no trade clause to go to Vancouver with a chance at the playoffs? I don't think so. We are the better team. I don't think he would waive his no trade clause. Ristolainen, I'm going to decline this trade. I don't think it's very realistic. But we do want to go all the way to the back here and take a look at any prospects that teams are willing to part ways with. Stankoven, Fabian Lysell, 20, Niemela, no, 37, Andrew Ladd, Matt Martin. These aren't what I consider prospects, guys. 24, Juuso Valmiaki. He's an RFA, 77. Probably not. 24, Matthew Phillips. Byron Clutterbuck, Snively, no, none of these guys really fit the criteria. McLaughlin, no, he's 23. He's not going to be anything really. Pierre-Olivier Joseph, they'd want third round picks for him, so probably not. I think, oh man, let's see if we can find a trade for a guy like Rasmus Ristolainen. Let's see what teams would want or give us for him. Coyotes would give us a third, and Sabres want him back. That would never happen. Oh my God. Man, I wish I would have just taken that and then just dealt with the backlash in the comments. That was a really good deal for us. Jonathan Drouin for Rasmus Ristolainen. They're offering Jonathan Drouin. Why? I guess he's an expiring contract, but I really don't see us trading anybody else. Ryan Ellis is signed for 5 more years. He's 32. He's really good. I might just hold on to him, though. Nobody else is expiring. Do we have anybody? I mean, Sanheim's expiring, but he's got the extension. 2 years left for Owen Tippett. I'm not moving him. I'm not moving Brink. We've signed York and Frost. Forster, not really. Cam Atkinson, maybe we could get some interest for him. I doubt it. I'm going to kick the tires anyway. None of this. They're not trading Kyle Oposo, Athanasiou. Yeah, none of that looks all that exciting. So I think that might be it for us, making deals ourselves. Now, I'm going to hang on, and we'll see if we get a call in the next 3 hours. But John Klingberg, they're selling off. It would take us 2 firsts to get Klingberg and Forster. Good Lord. But the good news is we do have 2 firsts. So let's take a little snapshot of what we have. The draft picks are 2 firsts and 2 thirds. I wonder if a team has a second that they'd be willing to part ways with. Nobody really seems to have... Oh my God, everybody's got players on the block except for Nashville. We can call them back and see if we can get their second. Pittsburgh, no. That's next year's second from them. They're a conservative buyer, so it's got to be the right deal. The Vancouver Canucks want to give away their second. They do. It is one of the things that they are willing to part ways with. Draft picks. Take the Calgary Flames second. It would take Ristolainen in a third, a second, a third, and Thompson. Not giving up York, not giving up Brink. Forster, a third and a fifth, maybe. The Risto deal is an interesting one. They really seem to be in love with Ristolainen. They really, really seem to love Ristolainen. I can't put it past them to want a big-bodied right-handed defenseman. They want Ristolainen a 6th and a 5th for their second. They're on the cusp. They're a buyer. Risto's been bad. I can't even say he's had a resurgent season. He's a -5. I can't willingly dupe them like this, guys. I want to do this so badly, and I just want to be realistic for you guys, But a 2nd-round pick for Rasmus Ristolainen, I think teams have pretty much figured it out. He's got 5 years left on his deal. This one is interesting. A 4th and Lawton for Boyd. Lawton, I could move Lawton if I so pleased, I believe. Yeah, he's got a couple years left on that deal. They want to give us Travis Boyd and a 3rd to upgrade to Lawton. That is an upgrade for them. That would be them kind of buying in, going all for it. We'd upgrade our 4th to... and we'd increase by $1 million in cap space. A 4th goes to a 3rd next year. What's our next year's picks looking like? 2 firsts next year, a 2nd. We'd upgrade the 4th to a 3rd. I think I might do this, even though he's got 4 years left. They called me with it. They want to give us Travis Boyd. He's a depth forward. He doesn't look all that bad. He's got another year left after this one. He doesn't fit the scheme, though. Lawton does. Lawton hasn't been great either. Travis Boyd seems to be a bit more of a goal scorer, I guess. I don't know. I'm doing this deal just for the 3rd-round pick, and I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to sell off Scott Lawton. At 28, he's got 3 years left after this one. He'll be like 32 when that contract expires. Boyd will be about 30, 31. He's a bit faster of a skater. He's not nearly as good defensively. He's not as physical. He's not as good offensively. The shots are comparable for sure. But we get a 3rd out of this deal. They're trying to really entice me with this 3rd. We save some money going forward. It's going to be a deal that I'm going to want to get out of. They called me. They want to give me they want to upgrade their bottom 6. I'll let them upgrade their bottom 6. Trade accepted. So Scott Lawton has also been moved on deadline day. Trade summary here. Let's take a look at what's been going on. Matthew Robertson, Lars Eller, Goligoski for some picks. Bukestad. Wow. So Arizona sells. Okay, so they sold off Bukestad and a 3rd for Oscar Olason, and so they may have just wanted to replace that. Yeah, that was a call there. They didn't like whoever they just traded away and wanted to upgrade that center position. They now have Scott Lawton, who gives them actually a pretty solid... Oh, he's their 2nd-line center at this point. Or he can play left wing for them. They got Keller, they got Krause, Nick Ritchie's there as well. Let's take a look at trades. I want to make some other calls, I think, before the day is over. Is there anybody expiring? The Ottawa Senators have made a trade. Zub, a fourth, and Mott to the Vancouver Canucks in exchange for their second and a third. So that's one that I probably feel like is a bit more realistic for them to actually go out and do. Nedeljkovic, I don't need a goalie. Jonathan Toews, what would it take to get him? It would take Owen Tippett or Cam York. No, because this kind of would be a buy-in attempt for us to go for it. He would replenish some of the top 6, but the problem is I don't want to give up Tippett. Is there anybody here that I would give up? Boyd has got that much value? Good lord. Chicago would be down bad. Could do Boyd in a 5th, but it's probably not gonna, that wouldn't make any sense for them. They want futures. They want things for the future. For Jonathan Toews. Reimer, Nyquist. Nyquist would be a good sniper for us to acquire. A 4th and a 5th is all it would take, or Addard in a 5th. That might be one that I can consider, right? Gustav Nyquist. How many years? He's got 1 year left. I already checked that. He fits the top 6 and the power play. This would be more of a buy-in attempt. Kind of going for it, you know, 23.75 low top 4. They want a prospect and a pick. Do we want to go for it? Like I said, we're pretty close to the bottom. I wish I could see that right now. Stats Central. You can see it. Oh my God, let's go. But as you guys can see, we are second in our division. And you know, we're in the playoffs, guys. This would be an easy, you know, no harm. Like, we're not going to fall out of the playoffs, right? To fall out of the playoffs, we would have to drop to 70 points. I mean, I know that's 5 points, but I think Gustav Nyquist fitting the top 6. He's a goal scorer. We gave up James Van Riemsdyk and we got a first out of him. We'll shuffle it a bit. I like this deal a lot. Gustav Nyquist. They want Addard or Ginning. Let's take a look at Ginning here. Victor Arvidsson is on the move now for the Nashville Predators, and I'll give him Ginning. If they want Ginning, I'll give him Ginning. Ginning in a 5th for Gustav Nyquist. Propose the trade. I accept. We'll see you out on the ice. Beautiful. But the Nashville Predators just move on from... Oh, wait. No. Did they acquire Arvidsson? Oh, wait. What the hell just happened? Shannon a 3rd goes to the Bruins in exchange for a 3rd. McLaughlin and a 6th. There it is. Victor Arvidsson back to Nashville for a 2nd and a 3rd. Nashville depleting their picks, buying in return of Victor Arvidsson. Victor Arvidsson can't get out of Nashville for long, and the trade deadline is passed as we make the second last trade of the deadline, acquiring Gustav Nyquist, the goal scorer, to replace James Van Riemsdyk, and all it cost us was a prospect and a 5th. Radko Gudas is on waivers. No, I'm going to decline to claim him off waivers. Everybody's going to be a little bit unhappy because we traded away James Van Riemsdyk. I understand. But did Nashville... okay, Victor Arvidsson, I hate that when they go one way and then they call him back later that day. And they just go flip-flop. But yeah, we got Van Riemsdyk and a 4th. Goes to Nashville, and we get their first round pick out of the deal. They seem to be loading up, so that really triggered them to go big. We can't get rid of McEwen, but we do get rid of Scott Lawton. They called me about Scott Lawton. We're swapping centers. They get the upgrade there, and it costs them a 3rd. We get another bottom 6 player who's actually been scoring goals, which is something that we need from the bottom 6. And we swap picks there. We upgrade our 4th to a 3rd. The LA Kings were active today. Holy smokes. But looking at the Nashville Predators, they traded a 2nd and a 3rd to get Arvidsson. Didn't the Kings just trade for Arvidsson? I don't know. Either way, they've made that move. They've done it. And Nashville's going all in. But now Atkinson, Couturier, and Konechny. Kevin Hayes is down there. They move Frost, scratched. Gustav Nyquist. You know what we're going to do real quick? We're not going to edit the strategies. We're going to go options. Head coach, preferred lines. There we go. So it's Nyquist, Couturier, and Konechny. That gets us a +3 there. It's, oh, no, we're going to move Hayes up. I think Hayes, Hayes fits the 3rd line beautifully. We'll move Farabee up, I think. We'll play with Frost and Atkinson. Tippett to play with Allison and Hayes. Hayes drops to the third line. We did need to fix that. All right, I actually don't mind this. Atkinson up here for Gustav Nyquist. We do have Atkinson for a little bit longer. I am a bit more interested in Gustav Nyquist, considering he's got 88 passing, 88 offensive awareness, and 87 wrist shot accuracy compared to Goose 88, 88, 88. So they're pretty much interchangeable. Farabee does not fit well there. Do we have anybody that would? I guess moving Konechny down would fit, but it would take away our +3 on the top line. Yikes, Farabee does not fit well in the system. I think we may want a new coach eventually, but taking a look here. We can get Konechny, Couturier, Farabee. Get some young guns on the first line. Farabee, Couturier, Konechny is actually not a bad line, although I think I would like to get a bona fide goal scorer up there. But then I could surround Frost with 2 really good goal scorers. Cam Atkinson, I think, gets the nod for me, and Farabee's going to stay on that second line. He is listed as a second line forward. He's high top 6. I want to play him where he's going to probably grow the best. Defensively, Sanheim, Ellis, moving D'Angelo up just because he's been so insane. Provorov, Sanheim and Provorov. Provorov's been pretty good. Do we get any kind of bonus? Ryan Ellis moving down, I guess would. Cam York. No, our defenders don't really fit the scheme anywhere. We could go Provorov. Sanheim might get us something. It doesn't, so. But Sanheim there, he's the one with the big extension. Provorov, they both have medium top 4, so it doesn't really change. I think Provorov had the medium elite at one point. But taking a look there, all right, so scratched right now is Boyd, Delorier, and Sealer. We definitely want to get Boyd in for Brooks. Get Boyd in. There we go. Boyd, would you fit better than anybody? No. Boyd fits well on the first and fourth lines, which is definitely not too bad. Kate's up for Allison. 2-way forward, power forward, sniper. I don't mind that. Actually, that could be a good third line. And then McEwen here, the grinder, playing with the 2-way forward and the power forward. Can we swap him for Delorier? Delorier doesn't fit as well. Sealer, Brooks fits really well, but I'm going to leave him scratched. Sealer is a defenseman, I was going to say. And then defensively, yeah, we're not going to move anybody there. Power play time. Tony DeAngelo for Gustav Nyquist. Nyquist is a left-handed shot. Konechny is a right-handed shot, so we'll move him there. Nyquist there. Nyquist is going to get the shot. Farabee, his hand-to-eye is 87, and Couturier in front of the net. Yeah, he should be pretty good there in front of the net. I like that. And then edit the strategies. So the distributor is Tony DeAngelo. We could have Konechny be the distributor. He does have tape to tape. The finisher should be Gustav Nyquist. Duplicate. What do you mean? What do you mean duplicated roles? How does? Oh, because he can't be a defender, right? Cool. That's fantastic. Tony DeAngelo is the distributor because he's at the point. Gustav Nyquist is the finisher because he's there. He's got the best shot. And the puck carrier will be, I think Couturier will still be the guy there. But I think that's just because what happens is the defensive lines on the power play are still technically the defensive lines on the power play. So I don't think, like, if I move Konechny into the middle here and then edit the strategy, can we make the finisher? No, that makes sense. Couturier, Gustav Nyquist. Yeah, wait, hold on. Konechny, move him there. Edit the strategies. Yeah, Konechny can still be the distributor. I don't know why, but Gustav Nyquist is our finisher and our puck carrier. There we go. -1 on the power play. Who fits and who doesn't fit? Farabee doesn't really fit. Gustav Nyquist does, though. That's nice. Looking at the power play lines, Provorov, Allison. No. I do not want Allison. I think I'd rather. Oh, and Tippett. Yeah, the sniper. Changing current line. Here we go. Who doesn't fit here? Oh, it's Kevin Hayes who doesn't fit. But Frost in the middle, Provorov there, Tippett, flip-flop those two guys. Provorov at right wing. Feels really weird. Who do I want? Hold on. Konechny, Couturier. Cam Atkinson needs to be on the power play. Yeah, Cam Atkinson definitely needs to be on the power play. Ryan Ellis is really good. He's got 89 passing, 90 offensive awareness. Yeah, I think I'm gonna stop or just hop Provorov off there. Frost, Kevin Hayes in front of the net, 6'5". Yeah, that makes sense. Frost, his hand-eye of 86. Kevin Hayes 87. Atkinson's 88. Tippett. Okay, so Atkinson is going to be in the middle there. Frost does shoot left, so that's perfect. Edit the strategies. We want the finisher not to be Atkinson, but to be Owen Tippett. The distributor will make Ryan Ellis, and the puck carrier, Cam Atkinson. Cam Atkinson sounds like a good puck carrier there. All right, so the power play lines are set. We'll set up the penalty kill. Edit the lines. Penalty kill line is Couturier and Cates. Boyd and McEwen. Oh, it's because of D'Angelo, isn't it? We'll just quick swap him with Provorov and York. Oh man, none of these guys fit. It's all. Oh, Ryan Ellis fits. Ellis and Sanheim. Ristolainen and D'Angelo still good there. Cool. And then on the third pairing is Provorov and York. Farabee and Hayes. We get minuses. I don't think I can do much more than that. Goaltenders are still Hart and Thompson. Scratched is Delorier, Sealer, and Brooks. And there we go. These are our lines heading into the playoff push. I'm going to give Frost that extra ice time. I think he's earned it. I think I want to see what he can do as a playmaker. Kevin Hayes really solidifies that third line for us. And we should be good to go. But let's head through the rest of the season. We are in second place in the division. And with two games against Pittsburgh coming up, that is going to be massive. So let's go up about 2 weeks here. We are going to Chad Ruedel. Do we want to claim him? No, probably not. Decline that. We lose 2 straight. We lose 3 straight. Provorov is fine. Kyle Burrows. No, we're going to decline that as well. We're going to lose in a shootout. Lucas Carlson. Probably not. Yeah, I didn't think so. Decline that. Against Pittsburgh, we do win, though. Keeps us in the hunt. Ryan Poehling. Poehling, the low top 6 two-way forward. Hasn't really gotten much time on ice. Looks to be okay. Low top 6. I mean, it's a free waiver claim, right? We'll claim him, and then we'll stop the sim. And we beat Buffalo right after that, so that's good to see. And we're still in the playoffs, technically. But going to the roster moves now, I believe we'll have one too many players up here. And we will... Oh, is he in the system? Right. So we somehow claimed him, but he's still down in the minors. He's a fourth line forward. I'd like to call him up and then send down Adam Brooks. That feels perfect to me. He's going to be a great replacement for McEwen on the fourth line. There we go. Poehling, hop right in there. You can play center. Beautiful. Poehling can. He actually fits the third line moderately well. We don't get a plus with him, but he'll play there on the fourth line for us. Hey, listen, it's just a guy that they waived. We get a chance with. He's on the last year of his deal. We'll see how he does there. But here we go. We do beat Buffalo, snapping the losing streak here. And we had one more game against Carolina before it was supposed to end. Ouch! And we are instantly in danger, right? I mean, sort of in danger. We are cooling way off. 80 points in 69 games is still pretty good. But taking a look at it, right, we have 80 points. The Devils have 79. The Rangers are 6 points behind us. And the Senators are 5 points behind us. Most likely the Senators are going to catch the Canadiens before they catch us. And we could easily jump back into second place or especially third place. So it's really tight right now. We've got a whole boatload of games, but this Pittsburgh game is actually going to be a big one. Against Florida, we're going to win in overtime. We get a point there against Minnesota, keeping us alive, but losing to Detroit and losing to Montreal, losing to Ottawa, losing to Buffalo in a shootout, and now all of a sudden we are 1 point in the playoffs. All right, so Gustav Nyquist is not helping us like I thought he would. Cam Atkinson. Oh, Farabee's up to an 85, though. Farabee for Atkinson. You know, we're going to do that. We're going to move that there. Move that there. Morgan Frost actually starting to put up a lot of points, right? He's got 32. He's above his half a point per game pace, which is great to see. And he's a +1 now. Kevin Hayes is even, so those guys are doing fine. Ryan Poehling in Philadelphia has 1 goal and is a -3, but he's shooting. Yeah, okay. Travis Boyd is a -2. Okay. Defensively, Sanheim is a -9. Yikes. Okay, we're gonna move D'Angelo down for Ellis. We're just gonna flip-flop these guys because I think, oh god, the defensive core is just bad. Is it the goaltending that's hurting us? I mean, Hart's not helping us. But we are tight here against Pittsburgh. One day sim. We lose, and we're now out of the playoffs looking in. So I did try and get Nyquist to make a little bit of a push, but hey, it wouldn't hurt us to be in the lottery. So let's go ahead and go to these last 3 games of the season and see what things are like. Win against St. Louis. We're still in it with a shout. A loss to the Islanders, though, hurts a ton. And now with 86 points, we're going to have to be perfect and get some things to go our way for us to make the playoffs. And this is really where I thought this team would be. But what a monumental collapse. We did sell off at the deadline. I wonder how James Van Riemsdyk and the Nashville Predators are doing. They're now in second. They have 100 points. They could be in third behind the Avalanche, though. Things could change quick. But here we go. Up against Boston. We win that one 5-2. We have not been eliminated yet. We need 3 points to tie the Rangers in the standings and make the playoffs. All right. So the New York Rangers, they've got the tiebreaker too. So we are going to have to win both games remaining on the season just to even be in with a chance. And the Rangers can't pick up a point. Couturier is good to go. The Rangers don't pick up a point. The Rangers lose. The Rangers lose 5-2 to the Buffalo Sabres, who are playing for nothing but pride. Against the Columbus Blue Jackets. The Blue Jackets behind us in the standings. Can we take the win? We do in overtime, and we're now 1 point behind the Rangers from actually making the playoffs on the final day. And the Rangers don't play. We do. We play the Chicago Blackhawks, and we are going to slow sim this game. Here we go. Against Chicago on the road. First period, nobody's gonna score. Shots are even. Second period, we're up 2-0 with Sanheim scoring and Konechny on the power play. Third period is underway here, and Kachuk scores on Thompson. Why is our backup goalie in the hugest game of the season so far? But it is still 2-1, 5 minutes into the third period. 13 minutes to go. Oh, and the Chicago Blackhawks get a power play. It's a long-ass power play too, but our penalty kill comes up clutch. With 8 minutes to go, we still have that 1-goal cushion. I could really use an insurance marker. The shots are in our favor as we hit 5 to go in the third. 4 minutes left in the third. 3 minutes. 2 minutes to go. Still up by 1. 1 minute left, 30 seconds, and we hold on. And now, what happened in the New York Rangers game? Sanheim, Konechny, D'Angelo, Farabee, Allison, all with points. The minuses go to Konechny, Couturier, and Provorov. Did the Rangers choke? The Rangers choked! The New York Rangers have choked, and we have clinched a playoff spot after making all those moves, and we are in the dance. That's all that matters. The New York Rangers, oh my goodness. Can I see scores across the league? Is there any way to see? No? Message center? The Rangers, hashtag Rangers. Anybody see hashtag Rangers? I don't, unless they played on the day. Oh my God. Wait. Did the Rangers choke? Or did they not play yet? They choked. They legit choked. They played 82. Oh my goodness. Everything was tied except we had one more overtime loss. And really, they should be in the play. They should 100% be in the playoffs over us. But we just backed our way in there, guys. Poor power play, average penalty kill. We find a way to do it. Couturier finishes with a nice amount of points. And how did our season series against the Rangers go? Are there any monumental... A shootout win just a month ago. And that is where the extra point comes from that gets us into the playoffs and sends them... That is... Oh my God. That is the direct spot where we picked up the point we needed. That is the point we needed right there. This game was huge. What an absolute tear. These 3 games found our way in. What a season. And I believe that is 82 games for all teams played. Yes, it is. We can go ahead and check out team stats and player stats. We'll start with the player stats, looking how we did. Couturier with 69 points in 82 games, and Konechny with 61 and 82. So a really solid season from Konechny. Farabee as well, putting in 23 goals as a two-way forward with 90 wrist shot accuracy. Really, really awesome. I'd like to see his plus minus be a bit better, but hey, you never know. Kevin Hayes, 52 points in 82 games. I'll take that. If I can get 50 points out of Kevin Hayes, I will be happy. Let's stick with the forwards for now as I see D'Angelo cropping up there. Owen Tippett with 45 points, 20 goals from our third line goal scorer. Really happy with that season. And then Travis Boyd, we acquired him at the deadline. He had 4 points in 21 games and was a plus. That's all I can ask my bottom pairing or my bottom line to do. Morgan Frost didn't really step it up as I would have hoped. He had 32 and 68. He had 32 and 61, so he was held scoreless towards the end of the season. Gustav Nyquist played 83 games this season, was a minus 15 for us. So Gustav Nyquist has absolutely been detrimental, and we've won in spite of Gustav Nyquist. Holy smokes. Cam Atkinson, though, finding it a similar situation, but he did put 50% point percentage, which is not too bad. Cates, I should mention this one a bit more in depth. He had a really good season. I'm really, really satisfied with that. Allison, McEwen, Paling, how did he do? In 14 games, he had 3 goals, 5 points, +1. Hey, I'll take it for a fourth line center. Fourth line did start to find its groove once we got Paling in the mix. But on the back end, Tony DeAngelo with 51 points. Love to see that. Ryan Ellis with 40 points as well. Ivan Provorov having a good season. Cam York with 20 points, so he stepped it up point-wise. Sanheim with 16. Risto did not finish detrimental to the team and was even. Carter Hart with above a 3 goal against average is gross. And Logan Thompson was solid. So all in all, things went well for us. Take a look at all skaters across the entire NHL, though. Kucherov and Stamkos lead the league together in points. The only players to hit 100 points this season. Panarin and Zibanejad, the duos coming in clutch. And there's Braden Point. So a full line of Tampa Bay Lightning that are just killing it. McDavid, Ovechkin, DeBrincat, Crosby, Marchand, Barzal, Bergeron. But as far as goals are concerned, Kucherov runs away with the Richard. Zibanejad, Ovechkin, Robertson, Matthews, Stamkos, Panarin all hit 40. Most assists goes to Braden Point, probably because he's feeding Stamkos and Kucherov. Adam Fox, though, wow, 61 assists for Fox, 60 for Hughes, but Hughes also had 10 goals. Best plus minus was Kucherov, Sergachev, Bo Horvat. Wow, the Canucks really did turn their season around. Interesting. Who hit the most? Tyler Bertuzzi. All right. Wow, 86 with 54 points, 193 hits. That's not too bad. All right. Taking a look at the defenseman, though, it is Quinn Hughes who's going to bring home your Norris. Chris Letang pots 20 goals, though. Couldn't be in with a shout. His penalty minutes did hurt, and he did not have as good of a plus-minus. Hedman, another great season. Fox, Carlson, and Doughty, great seasons for them. Goaltending-wise, Jake Ottinger playing 74 games. Wow, a 925 and a 230 in his 74 games played. Holy God, that is insane. Let's go with a minimum of 30 games played. And yep, there's Ottinger. Just gonna run away with the Vezina. It's not even close, guys. But as far as rookies, Beniers pushes Slavkovsky to the very end. If he wasn't injured for 5 games, maybe he would have gotten it. He had a higher shooting percentage, but Cates was up there. Owen Power was up there. And JJ Peterka. I love Peterka. Noah Cates, though, really good season for him as a rookie. I'm satisfied with that. The fact that he's finished 4th. And then rookie goalies, no rookie goalies at this time. Taking a look at the team stats, though. We'll look where we ranked everywhere. Point percentage, obviously, good enough to get us the final wildcard spot. The goals for per game was 5th. The goals against per game was the 2nd most. Yikes, the defense really does need to step it up. So it doesn't look like we're going to be making any kind of miraculous run unless, hey, you never know. But we will most likely be taking on, who is it? It's going to be oh my God, it's going to be the 116-point Tampa Bay Lightning is going to be our opponent in round number 1. And that's not going to be good for us, but that's going to have to wait for the next episode, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want to see some more, and I will see you guys in the next one.
This a free for all before we fall. This a free for all before we fall.